Either Korean media thinks Koreans are this stupid, or Koreans are this stupid. Please help me discover which is true. Let's look at Daum, who is one of many places talking about this year's USA influenza season. From October to the end of January, 9.7 million people were infected and 4,800 died. This happens every year. Why report it as something new? The inference people seem to be drawing is that the coronavirus is in fact nothing to worry about. In fact, many people don't want you to pay attention to it. Bloomberg is reporting that misinformation is spreading and are putting people like me who are simply talking about the updates in the same sentence as people who suggest drinking bleach as a cure, which is just pure smear tactics. They also mention that it's racist to talk about the virus's origins. The ex-Obama health advisor says to stop panicking and being hysterical while citing bogus CNN statistics, which I'll get to in a minute. 내가 겁먹으라고 말한 거 들은 사람 손? The WHO also declared a global emergency, yet repeats not to interfere with international affairs, while praising China's transparency.
Very impressive and beyond words. So is China's commitment to transparency.
Does anyone need me to debunk claims about China's transparency? Yeah. Who could ever doubt the honesty of a nation that allows children to die in buildings made of cardboard? Now, the ex-Obama health advisor is citing CNN stats here, which are showing that the coronavirus death rate is a lot smaller than SARS. It's only 2%. Except they made an amateur mistake in calculating the virus's death rate. There is about a week lag between the time you are identified with the virus and the time you die. So the real death rate would be these 132 deaths divided by the infection number from 7 days ago, which was about 555. Now that would be a death rate of 23%. But that's only if you believe China's reported numbers. We're not going to know the real death rate until everything is finished. And maybe not even then, since China seems to be cremating bodies in secret to hide the real death rate. As for the annual flu, CNN also tried making it funny. A deadly virus is spreading from state to state. It has infected 15 million Americans so far. It's influenza. Now, this is the kind of stuff that Korean news is just copying. And now it's number one on top neighbor hits, so let's look at why this is completely misleading. This Korean study looks at the past 7 flu seasons for Korea and finds an average of 5,313 deaths per year caused by the flu, with drastically higher death rates for those over 65 years old. They say in the study that this is about the same around the world, but just to show it, we'll compare. The US averages around 40,000 deaths a year from the flu. If we consider the 145% difference in population size, the annual flu deaths for the US are only slightly higher than Korea's. And for some reason, neither CNN nor Korean news is talking about that. Because the annual flu is above average. CNN instead chooses to bitch that there are too many white people trying to find a cure for coronavirus. Because what we should obviously be doing is inviting some Ebola-stricken black people onto the team of first-hand experience of disease. Nor are CNN or Korean news mentioning that the annual influenza strains in the US have a death rate about 0.1%. And so, we get unbelievably retarded comments like this.
중국보다 심각하네. 미국을 까지 말자. 미국이 입국 금지 청구 안 하니 또 위험하면 안 돼.
Just a reminder for the official numbers for coronavirus surpassed SARS' 9-month run in 10 days. Also, here's a chart that maps deaths over time. Yellow is coronavirus, green is SARS, red is swine flu. Coronavirus has already entered an exponential increase, again, just from the official numbers, showing potential to become far deadlier than SARS. Doesn't mean it will be, just that the math tells us that it might be, especially considering asymptomatic spread was confirmed in Germany. But for some reason, I'm a fearmonger for pointing this out, but the WHO, who praised China's transparency, they're reliable, according to Korean news. The WHO, who declined to invite Taiwan to the World Health Assembly because China didn't want them to come. The WHO, who praised China's handling of the coronavirus situation, despite police are arresting anyone who shares information online, despite China hosting a 100,000-person banquet in the neighborhood over from Wuhan when the outbreak began. The WHO, who said, no, it's not a global emergency. Okay, now it's a global emergency. But China's cool. It seems like the WHO was shilling for China, and it seems like Korean news fucking hates you.